Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to TechGig webinar series, our endeavor to impart techies. We believe that sharing of knowledge is the key to enhance our skills and grow us as professionals. With this principle in mind, we have initiated a series of webinars conducted by industry experts to give you all a crisp insight of various domains. The topic of today's session is Corporate Krishna. Our guest speaker today is Mr. Puneet Singh, Team Lead, Accenture Services Private Limited. Puneet is a BE MBA and has 6 years of experience. He is currently working as a team lead in Accenture. He has worked with IBM India Private Limited and MTS earlier. He has been in public speaking for last 5 years. Puneet writes articles on topics management lessons from mythology. He has also delivered seminars and conducted workshops on management and leadership. So without further delay, I introduce you all to our guest speaker. Over to you, Puneet.
Hello everybody. So we can start with our session. Can you see my screen?
Puneet, okay. Your screen is visible.
Fine. So, okay, fine. So we are starting with the session. So the topic for today is Corporate Krishna. Now, why this uncommon and out of league topic? What is its significance and relevance in our corporate lives? Let's have a general discussion on this. When people from other countries ask us that what you are proud of, we Indians generally don't say that we are proud of our cars or perfumes, not even technology. The very first thing which comes to the mind is our culture. We say that we are proud of our culture. We are proud of our heritage. But the question here is, do we know something actually significant about our culture to be proud of? Are we actually aware of our rich heritage? And just to prove this point, how many of us attending this seminar know that how many verses are there in Bhagavad Gita? Or for that matter, how many chapters are there in Mahabharata? And I think you all must have got the answer. Bhagavad Gita has been translated in many languages of the world, French, German, Arabic, and of late into Chinese as well. Many eminent personalities, right from Albert Einstein to Steve Jobs, have read Bhagavad Gita and credited for their success. There is an institute in USA known as California Hypnosis Institute, which is doing research on the life of Lord Krishna to extract management lessons which can be taught to the B-school graduates of those countries. There is a famous historian of Oxford University, Will Durant, who has written a 12-volume book on world history. In that, he has rated Lord Krishna as the best management guru of all times. But the sad part is that these texts have lost their identity, have lost their relevance in their very own motherland. We appreciate it, we love it, we respect it, but the reality is that we don't read it. When it comes to India, there are hardly very few people who actually read Bhagavad Gita and other rich texts and implement it in their lives. And one of the most prominent names which comes to the mind is Mahatma Gandhi. Now what we know about Mahatma Gandhi is that when he died, he said, "Hey Ram, hey Ram." But what we don't know about Mahatma Gandhi is that he followed Krishna all his life. He used to read Bhagavad Gita on a daily basis and used to implement it in his real life. Now Mahatma Gandhi, we may love him, we may hate him, we may say that he was responsible for partition of country, he was responsible for creation of Pakistan and many other things. But one thing which we cannot deny about this person is that he brought the people of the country together. He united the people. Now, one most prominent leaders of our India's freedom struggle were Mahatma Gandhi and Subhash Chandra Bose. Now, I am not taking the names of Bhagat Singh and Chandrasekhar Azad because these two were not as much active on the leadership front which Subhash Chandra Bose was. So the Naram Dal was led by Mahatma Gandhi and the Garam Dal was led by Subhash Chandra Bose. Now we all know what did Subhash Chandra Bose say. What was the slogan given by him? You give me blood, I'll give you freedom. Now Indians at that time were farmers, they were not fighters. India did not have a history of people coming out on roads like the US or the Europe. Now this message did not appeal to many people in the country. Subhash Chandra Bose could not get ample support within the country, and if you all remember your history textbooks, he had to ultimately go to Burma to form an army which would fight for the freedom of India, the Azad Hind Fauj, because he could not get proper support within his own nation. Gandhi realized this fact. He realized that while worshipping cow, Indians had become like cow. And if a cow has to be moved in herds. So he gave the message, don't give me blood, but I would still give you freedom. And how? You just step out of your house and walk with me. You don't have to fight with anyone. You don't have to carry any weapon. You just walk with me. Where? Let's go to Dandi, the famous Dandi March. And Indians were very comfortable doing that. And he could get support from millions and millions of countrymen. At the same time, a very important fact, Gandhi realized that the British were not as cruel as the Nazis. Had Adolf Hitler been here, he would have thrown Mahatma Gandhi in the acid tank right on the very first day. But the British could not, and they did not. So what did not succeed in any part of the world succeeded in India, the non-violence movement. So Gandhi changed the rules of the game. He revolutionized the theory of leadership to get freedom for the country. And he gave the credit to Bhagavad Gita. What was his policy? He used to observe the people, observe the situation, observe the market, observe the competitors, and formulate the strategies accordingly. So we all appreciate this point, but we don't apply it. And my dear friends, you all must agree that application is more important than appreciation. Over a period of time, management science has divorced itself from cultural thinking. We are not able to see the management education provided by gods for over 3000 years. India has always been a trading community. Business and trade have existed since centuries. So we do actually have a whole body of knowledge available, but it was never spoken in the language of business. Ramayana, Mahabharata, Amar Chitrakatha, Panchatantra, they all are trying to give us some message which we have not been able to understand, and because of which we are still a developing country. US could become a superpower in 200 years, but India not even in 5000 years. Why? Because we were not able to do justice with what was written in our culture. We could have become a country whose growth is determined by the number of Nobel laureates or the per capita patent applications, but we did not. And reason? We are more interested in finding what is Ram Janmabhoomi rather than the ideas of Lord Ram. We only see the idol, not the idea. And leadership is seeing what others cannot see. It is the capability of seeing the invisible. And if you can see the invisible, you can do the impossible. So today we need a synthesis of wisdom of East and the vision of West. We need to apply wisdom of past in the present to generate wealth for tomorrow, which is only possible when we look beyond the apparent, beyond the cosmetic. So let's start this journey. So today we'll try to cover these three topics. Now, number one, India's contribution to the world. Now, these are few points which I have directly taken from the internet. There is no rocket science involved in these points. And you must be knowing many of these, like zero was invented by Aryabhat. Almost every Indian knows value of pi. These points are very common. We have few more as well: medical science, architecture, even sports. This must be new for you, that chess was also invented in India. So India has contributed in almost every aspect of life. But the question for today is this: what has been India's contribution in the field of management? How we have managed our culture, our society, our country for last 5,000 years. So we'll go in the reverse chronological order. Number one, we have already seen a person who was the greatest reformer of the modern era, Mahatma Gandhi. Now prior to him, we go back to the medieval times. Prior to Mahatma Gandhi, we have one person who was pioneer in the field of economics, military strategy and political administration. Few of you may guess economics, Arthashastra, strategy, Niti. And if your guess is correct, that person is Chanakya. Now, the peculiar thing about this person was that he was a powerful thinker and a sharp observer. He used to observe the surroundings and formulate his strategies accordingly. There is one story about Chanakya, that once he was going from one village to the other. There on the path he saw a big thorny bush. There was a big thorny bush lying there which has blocked the entire path, and because of which it was impossible to cross that path, and the people had to cover a long distance just to cross this thorny bush. So he asked the villagers out there that why don't you just chop it off? Villagers replied that its roots are so deep in the soil that we are not able to reach to the roots, and whenever we have tried to cut it, it always grows back thornier and stronger. So finally we have given it up, we don't care about it. Chanakya just took a walk. He observed the surroundings and asked the villagers to bring some sugarcane juice. Sugarcane juice. What was the reason? What he did, he sprinkled some of the sugarcane juice on the leaves, on the branches of the bush, asked the villagers to dig as deep as possible and poured the remaining sugarcane juice on the roots. And what was the reason? The reason was that sugarcane juice is sweet in nature, and because of which it started attracting the ants, the beetles and all other insects. All these insects start biting the roots, and in matter of few minutes or few hours, that big thorny bush was a tottering skeleton of itself which could be pulled off very easily. There Chanakya gave two lessons. He said that whenever you are confronted with a thorny bush, don't start a head-on fight. Here thorny bush represents an obstacle. Thorny bush represents an enemy. Thorny bush represents a competitor. So whenever you are confronted with a competitor, don't start a head-on fight. First, make a plan of action. That plan of action is known as strategy. So never enter the battlefield without a proper strategy. Second, try to gather as many friends, as many allies as possible. These allies may need not be the big elephants, tigers or the lions. They can be as small as ants and insects. Because in strategy, size does not matter, but planning does. You cannot give a shepherd the responsibility of running a sheep farm. Task management is totally different from people management. So here we got the concept of right person in right job. Many organizations even today fail in this concept, especially in the case of freshers. When freshers are hired, it can be any big organization, I don't want to name any. They are recruited in batches of 50, 60 or 100, and then these batches are divided into groups. First 20 Java, next 20 SAP, next 20 mainframes, without even asking in most of the cases what is the interest of the student or the new recruit. If he has actually worked in Java during his college time, or he has got some edge over the others, won't it be prudent to put him in Java rather than in SAP? So this mistake occurs at the early stage also, and this is one of the main reasons for the Monday blues which corporate employees face. It's why that people are not excited going to the office. Is it that we don't want to work? Is there any person in the world who does not want to succeed, who does not want to become successful, who does not want name and fame? Everyone wants that. Then why are people reluctant to go to office? Why they get these Monday blues? Because they are not passionate about their job. They don't like what they are doing. They don't do it because they love to do. They do it because they have to do, because their interest does not lie in that. So always, friends, as far as possible, try to take care of this concept, right person in right job. And now if we move beyond Chanakya, there was another person who is considered as the greatest management guru of all times, Lord Krishna. Today's session is dedicated to this person. Now, Indian mythology talks about two incarnations. One is Ram, other is Krishna. Now, what is the difference between these two? In Sanatan religion, what we generally call as Hindu, actually Hindu is not the correct word for religion, the religion is Sanatan. In Sanatan religion, when a person dies and his body is taken for funeral, people generally say Ram Naam Satya Hai. Because Ram is the truth icon, but leadership is an altogether different ball game, and the leadership icon is Lord Krishna. It is said that this person had got two qualities which leaders in general don't have. He knew how to dance and how to make others dance. उन्हें नाचना भी आता था, नचाना भी आता था. Now you go to the temple of Lord Ram and look at his statue. Just have a look at this. Bows and arrows, chest puffed out, strong arms, shoulders. And he is generally seen along with his wife Sita and Lakshman. Lakshman we can compare to an educated unemployed graduate. Now this was a typical organizational hierarchy. A powerful leader along with energetic workforce. Nothing wrong in that. Perfect. But now you go to the temple of Lord Krishna and look at his statue. Look at his idol. No bows and arrows, no weapons, no Joshila stuff. He is seen calm and composed, standing cross-legged with one flute. So there is no manly material in him, no aggression, no dominance, but still he is regarded as the best management guru. Why? Because he was willing to bend and compromise. He was the most flexible god we have ever had. With one flute, he could keep everyone happy. When he used to start playing his flute, cows used to start grazing, gopis used to start singing, Radha used to start dancing, and Mother Yashoda, Mera Nandala, getting maximum output from limited resources. So now we gradually explore more concepts of Lord Krishna. Lord Ram was the king. Krishna was the kingmaker. Ram was truth icon. Krishna was leadership icon. Ram was the captain. Krishna was the coach. Ram fought the battle with Ravan for his own wife. That was his own personal battle. But Krishna actually had nothing to do with the war between Pandavas and Kauravas. But he fought only for principles. He fought for dharma. So he was acting like a coach for the Pandavas. And a coach is someone who wants you to win. So in an organization, a person should try to have more and more coaches. They need not be just his upline managers, the people HR representative, or the functional bosses. You try to have a good relationship with as many people as possible, so that whenever you are in problem, whenever you are in dilemma, there are more than one faces you can reach out to. So try to have as many coaches as possible. Now next. Now you read any book, you watch any video in YouTube, you Google, everywhere you will get theories of leadership style. What are the different categories of leaders? What are the different leadership styles? But Krishna was the only person who talked about followership style. He said to Arjun that the man behind the machine is more important than the machine. So you don't have to actually manage people, you have to manage the minds of the people. And he divided the followers in 3 categories. At the lowest level are the most immature and careless people who cannot be held responsible, who cannot be held accountable for any job. They are very immature, very careless. So when these people approach Lord Krishna, God, how do we reach you? Krishna said, just do what I say. Don't apply your brain, because as such you don't have any, so just follow whatever I say. He called these people tamas. At the second level are the hard-working, ambitious achievers of the society. These people have some goal, they have some ambition in life, they want to achieve something. Most of us, you and me, actually fall into this category. But the only drawback associated with these people is that they work for reward. I will work overtime, I will come on the weekends, but what will I get in return? Will you give me a good rating? Will you give me an extra bonus? If not, I'll apply my resume to some other organization. So we have aim, we do hard work, we do smart work, but at the back of mind we have this idea of getting some reward. He called these people Rajas. And at the topmost level are the people who are the change agents of this world, who are the transformational leaders of this world. They are the people like Swami Vivekananda. They are the people like Mother Teresa. They are the people like Steve Jobs, who have taken birth to show to the world how to live, think and behave. So these are the change agents of the world. Now the problem with India is that at the top we have got very few sattvic nature people. Most of the people who reach the top in India are the ones who are reaching the top by buttering, by psychophancy, the yes sir kind of people. We are having very few Abul Kalams at the top who actually belong to the Sattvic category. We are not having Amar Sains, we are not having Narayan Murtis at the top who can actually make India the superpower. And because of this, India is predominantly becoming a nation where for every action there is a corresponding overreaction. The usefulness of a meeting is inversely proportional to its attendance. A nation where we have reached moon, but still it is difficult to cross a street because of heavy traffic. And a nation where we talk about Vision 2020, but without knowing whether water will come into a tap next day morning or not. So the idea behind this point is that in an organization, always we should try to see the person working with us, person working under us belongs to which category. Is he a tamasic person who would need more guidance, who would just need to follow your instructions, or is he a sattvic person who has some idea, who has got some vision? Next. So first we discussed about followership style. Now we will see why people follow, why someone becomes a leader and others start following him. So primarily there are three reasons why people recognize someone as a leader. First one is the most common and the most obvious one: remuneration, salary, hierarchy. I follow my boss because he is my boss. My rating, my promotion, everything is in his hands. So it is purely a transactional relation. Like example, players in IPL team. Now when a player is playing for India, he is playing for the nation. There is a pride associated with it. But when players are playing for IPL franchises, more or less they are playing for the money which they are getting. Even a player of Rahul Dravid's stature could also not prevent from changing sides. Earlier he was with Bangalore and now he was with the Rajasthan Royals, and there is nothing wrong in that because it was purely for entertainment, it was purely for money making. So this was the first reason, pure transactional reason. Second reason why people would follow one particular leader is loyalty to that leader. I'm not interested in the money which you will be giving to me. I'm not interested in the promotion or whatever rewards I'll be getting by joining you. But I joined you because I have complete trust in you. I follow you blindly, so that's why I will actually follow you blindly. And if you can recall one or two examples from Mahabharata, there was one character who himself was a very upright, law-abiding person, but he used to follow the symbol of evil. And I believe many of you must be right, he was Karna. Now Karna himself, we all know, was a law-abiding person, but he always used to follow Duryodhana. Similarly, we can have Bhishma and Dronacharya, who always used to look at Dhritarashtra. While they should have looked at the kingdom, they always kept looking at the king. So this is the second reason, loyalty to the leader. And it is this reason which people like Adolf Hitler or Osama bin Laden exploit. They use their oratory skills, they use their influencing power to misguide the people, to misguide the youth who actually become their devotees. Now coming to the third reason. Third reason is it's not related to the money, it's not related to anyone's loyalty, it's related to principles. It's related to vision or a higher cause. Now I am following you not because of any personal reason or my personal friendship with you. I am following you because it is correct to follow. It is for a cause. It is either for humanity or for the betterment of society. Now in Kurukshetra, when Arjun dropped his bow and arrow and said, Krishna, that I cannot fight this battle, what did Krishna say? Did he say that the first style, that you win this war and you will become the king of Hastinapur, you and your brothers? Did he say this? No, he did not. Did he use the second style, that I am the God, so you follow whatever I am saying? No, he did not follow this style as well. What did he say? He showed the complete actual picture to Arjuna. He told him that this battle was not for avenging the disrobing of Draupadi. It is against all those forces in the society which disrespect womankind. It is not an ordinary war between two sets of peasants fighting for a piece of land. It is a war between right and wrong, justice and injustice, righteousness and evil. And whenever such a war is about to commence, there can be only one pilgrimage in the world, the battlefield. So he showed the complete picture to Arjuna. He did not use his influence, but he actually influenced Arjuna. He empowered and enlightened Arjuna to fight not for his personal benefits, but for the society, but for the mankind. Can we as leaders use this style in our organizations? A very simple example. Generally what happens to people who are into this coding and development field, what happens to the freshers? They are given some flowchart kind of thing. This is the flowchart and this is the program which you have to prepare. This is the code which you have to deliver in say 2 or 3 days. And people willingly or reluctantly start preparing that code. Now at that time, can the team leader add one line into that? The code which you are preparing would be used by a banking application. It would be implemented in all banks of the country. And if this gets implemented, your father who has to stand in a queue to pay his bill can do it online sitting from his home. In this way, by making this code, by developing this application, you are actually contributing to the growth of the nation. This is the importance of your work. This is the importance of the code which you are developing. And if a leader is able to show this picture to his team members, those young 24, 23-year-old people would work their heart out to prepare that application. So the people who work only for salary can never bring any change. Steve Jobs, Narayan Murthy, they were not working for the salary. They were working, they were doing the work because they believed in what they were doing. And it is the responsibility of the leader to get that belief into all his employees. So it's up to us which style we follow, but undoubtedly if we follow the third style, it will not be transactional, it will be transformational. It will transform the individual forever. Next, methods of handling people. Now we are moving step by step. In the first slide we saw what are the different categories of people: tamas, rajas and sattvic people. Then we learned that why these people will follow you. And now once they have started following you, once they have recognized you as their leader, now how you can handle them. And I'm sure most of you must have heard this concept, Sam Dam Dand Bhed. We'll just take this in the form of a story. Now there is a typical Indian household. The father is reading newspaper in the balcony, mother is cooking in the kitchen, and there is a 1.5 year old kid who is just crawling on the floor. Now During this process of crawling, he starts putting his hand on anything which he get, anything and everything. In this process, he starts opening the phenyl bottle, he starts opening the acid bottle, anything. Father sees this and he rushes to the child. Now at that time, what can the father do? Can he explain to that 1-year-old kid that, son, this is poison, this is dangerous for you? Will that 1-year-old kid understand what is the meaning of poison and danger? No, he won't. So the only option left with the father is to forcefully pick him from that place and take him away. This is known as dand. So dand actually does not mean punishment, does not mean maro. Dand is basically authoritative. Dand is the telling style. Telling style where you need to guide your team member every step of the way. You need to tell them how to do, what to do, and why to do. They are not mature, they don't have that much experience, so they require your guidance every step of the way. So this is the corporate style of dand. Now taking the story ahead, now 12, 13, 14 years down the line, that 1.5-year-old kid is a grown-up teenager. Now he's around 15 or 16-year-old. Now we all know that teenagers are a very dangerous breed. High in ego, low in understanding. Now the father wants his son to study, to get good marks. But the son is more interested in growing long hairs, more interested in driving bikes, in iPads, iPods. Now can the father use the dand style? The moment he says study or I'll give you a tight slap, the son may revolt. He may turn into a rebellion. So the father changes his leadership style. What does he say? He says, son, you get 90% marks in the exam and I will bring you an iPad. You get admission into IIT, I'll buy you a new bike. So this is the Dam style. From a Hitler in the first stage, he turns into a sales manager in the second stage. That was the telling style. This is the selling style. He is incentivizing his resource. Now again 5-6 years down the line, the son has got admission into some engineering college. He is into his final year and by his hard work, he is able to get 3 offer letters. Through his campus recruitment, now he has got offers from 3 different organizations. Accenture, IBM or some other, say Tata Motors. Now at that time, the son again approaches the father. He says, father, I have got admission, I have got offers from 3 organizations, but I am confused. I am not able to decide which one to choose. Please help me. At this moment, what does the father do? Does he uses the first style? You join Accenture or I'll give you a tight slap? No. Or does he uses the second style? You join IBM and I'll buy you a Ford Figo? No. He does not uses that as well. So what does he do? He asks his son, son, what is your area of interest? What do you want to become in life? What are you passionate about? And if you are more interested in automobiles rather than in softwares, you better join Tata Motors than Accenture or IBM. So now he's again changing his leadership style and he's participating, he's discussing. This is the consulting style. He is acting as a consultant. He is listening to the problems and then providing the solution. And last style, again 5 to 7 years down the line, The son is a grown-up man. He has got son of his own. The father has retired. He spends most of the time in temples or reading newspaper. Now the son again approaches the father. Father, I have got an on-site opportunity. I need to go to UK for next 3 years, but I'm not sure whether I should take this or not. What do you suggest? Now the father, who has spent most of his life in government service, does not know much about the corporate world. So he says, son, you take your decision. Because as such, I don't know much about it and I'm more interested in my grandson now. So you take your decision and let me know. I'm sure your decision would be a good one. So now he is using the final style, which is bhed. Bhed means dividing, delegating. So bhed, please don't relate it with bhed dalo ras karo, food dalo ras karo type wala. It's not that divide and rule. It is delegating. Delegating means giving the responsibility to someone and believing in them. Now the father has firm belief in the son that he will take a better decision. So depending on the type of person, depending on the maturity level of the person, the father is changing his style. Sam Dam Dand Bhed. So as a leader, the learning for us is that we have to accept the people as they are rather than wishing, I wish he was a better person. Accept them, change your own style and align with them. So the policy which we have to follow is don't adopt but adapt. Don't adopt, pakad mat lo. Don't adopt but adapt. Change your style as per the situation, as per the market scenario, as per the competitor, as per your employees, and use the style which is most befitting. So if we summarize this, we are taking this in the form of maturity. So maturity here is the sum total of ability and willingness. Ability means the capability and willingness, whether the person is ready or not. So level of maturity M1, person is unable and unwilling. The case of 1-year-old kid, he was not able to decide whether it is dangerous and he was not willing to let go the bottle. So he was unwilling as well as unable. So at that time we use the Dand style. We have to tell our new recruits what to do, how to do, when to do. Second level, people are able to do but unwilling to do. So this was the case of our teenager. He was capable of studying, he was capable of getting good marks, but he was more interested in some other activities, so he was not doing that. So father used the Dam style. Get good marks and I'll buy you an iPad. Third style, willing but unable. The case of the college graduate. He wanted to take a decision but he was confused. He was not sure about that. So father used the SAM, the consulting style. Listened to his problem and provided the solution. And last, people are able as well as willing. They are completely mature people. So at that time father used the last, the Bhed style. So in this, father had complete trust on the person or on his employee and he delegated the responsibility to him without any hesitation. So these are the 4 styles which we have to adopt every day, every moment of our life depending on the scenario. Now we have an anecdote from Ramayana. We are actually running short of time, so we'll try to wrap it up. We all know about Hanuman. So this is an image of Ram Bhakt Hanuman. We all know. He was a disciple, a devotee of Lord Ram. He had surrendered himself to Ram. For him, Ram's wish was his command. Ram was his friend, mentor, guide and philosopher. He used to blindly follow Lord Ram. And Ram used to guide him what to do, how to do, because many a times he was not able to take the decisions. So he needed Ram's guidance every step of the way. But at the same time, during this process of guidance, Ram was preparing him for a bigger role. Ram was preparing him so that he could survive without Ram, so that he can live in Kali Yuga. And if few of you must be knowing that Hanuman is one of the god who is still alive. Ram's term ended in the Treta Yuga itself. Ram went to his heaven, but Hanuman is known as Ajar Amar. Hanuman is still present in Kali Yuga. So Ram was preparing Hanuman to live without him, to act independently. And very soon one of the tests of Hanuman came. There was a demon called Ahiravan. He was different from Ravan. He was known as Ahiravan, who abducted Ram and Lakshman. Now Hanuman had to rescue them. Now he had to do everything. He had to formulate the strategy and implement it. Everything from ideation to execution had to be performed by Hanuman. And thanks to the learning, thanks to the coaching given by Lord Ram, he was actually able to do that. He formulated a strategy, implemented it, and finally rescued both Ram and Lakshman. So from a Ram Bhakta Hanuman, he became Mahabali. Now the question for us is that how many Mahabalis have we prepared in our time? How many Mahabalis have we prepared in our organization? How many junior team members, the ASCs, the fresh graduates are there who know about the KPIs, who are aware of the SLAs? Are we preparing our bench strength? It is said that a good leader creates many followers, but a great leader creates many more leaders. One of the main reason for the success of Australia in cricket was that it was having a very strong bench strength. Even its second string team was capable of defeating the likes of India and South Africa. And for this, we have to convert the Hanumans of our team into Mahabalis who can perform beyond their career levels. And now, last thing, because generally this is a question asked in the seminars about Lord Krishna, that we associate Lord Krishna with Ras Leela. And it is a very popular saying, wo kare Ras Leela, hum kare character deela. Now, what is the actual significance of Ras Leela? If you can see this image, you can see that people are dancing. And they are not dancing in the middle of a town or a city. They are dancing in forest. There is dark out there. So this darkness represents the tough times. These are the times of economic recession. These are the times of demanding customers, declining profits, disengaged employees. So even in this dark, there can be many wild animals and beasts around. But still, all the girls are singing and dancing. They are enjoying because they are feeling comfortable in presence of the leader. The leader is Lord Krishna, and his presence is making them feel comfortable even in the times of economic recession. Second, you see Krishna along with Radha is standing in the center, and all others are equidistant from him. So equidistant means that the leader should be equally available to everyone. There should not be any partiality, there should not be any favorism in the organization. And third thing, what is actually strange in this picture is that we are seeing multiple Krishna. With every girl, every gopi, we are seeing one Krishna, and this was actually true. Krishna was having 16,000 wives, and it is said that all 16,000 ladies used to have this feeling that Krishna is living with them. So there used to be 16,000 virtual Krishnas living at that time. So again, it is giving the message of having an effective social mechanism in the organization. The leader is not only electronically but also emotionally connected with the employees. And it's his presence which is giving them comfort. The leader is giving them the message that the problem can come from anywhere, but the solution will come from me. For every problem, there is a way, and the way is on the way. There is a solution. There is a way, and the way is on the way. And leadership is not just about providing answers. It is about asking the right questions. Roger Bannister. Till 1954, no person in this world had traveled 1 mile in less than 4 minutes. Many people had tried to travel 1 mile, to run 1 mile in less than 4 minutes, but all of them had collapsed. No one could achieve success. In 1954, Roger Bannister from England was able to do that. And how? While all other athletes were trying to give strength to their legs, they were exercising their arms, their legs, their thighs. He realized that the problem was not with the legs, the problem was with the heart. The heart was not able to pump that much oxygen. The heart was not able to circulate that much blood which was required, and because of which the people were collapsing. So apart from focusing on the legs, exercising the legs and arms, he also started exercising his heart so that heart could pump more oxygen, circulate more blood. And he was able to travel 1 mile in 4 minutes. This is not important. The important thing is, in next 1 year, 304 more people were able to do that. What never happened in the history of mankind happened 305 times in 1 year. Why? Because people have found the right question, where to focus. So leadership is not about providing answers. Leadership is about finding the right questions. Last point, leadership is also not about intelligence. It is about direction of intelligence. We take example of Ratan Tata, how he conceived the idea of Tata Nano. One, he was going in the streets of Mumbai in his car. There he saw a middle class Indian family on a two-wheeler, husband, wife along with 2 kids. It was raining heavily. There the thought came into his mind, can I do something for this great Indian middle class? Can I give them something affordable? Very soon he called the meeting of board of directors of Tata, and he put forward this idea. We need to develop one car at around 1 lakh rupees. Now board of directors of Tata, you all can very well assume people, IITs, IIMs, all top notch, all big wigs. Now all of them convinced him that it is not possible. It is not possible practically, technically, financially. What happened in the meeting is not important. The important thing is what happened after the meeting. Ratan Tata concluded the meeting by saying, now when we have used all our intelligence in proving that it cannot be done, can we use the same intelligence in assuming that it can be done and start doing it? So he did not provide them intelligence, he provided them the direction of intelligence, and very soon we all know the team was able to develop and deliver that. So leadership is not about intelligence, leadership is about direction of intelligence. So people, in order to become successful in personal, professional, corporate world, we all need to awaken the Krishna within us. And when we say awakening the Krishna, we need to have these qualities in us. And once you are able to do this, once you are able to awaken the Krishna within you, Lord Krishna would continue showering his blessings on you all your life. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much for the insightful presentation, Puneet.
My pleasure.
Our attendees have sent a few questions. I hope you are able to see them.
One second. Okay, I have one question. Okay, well, the question is from Mr. Jain. In organization, what to do if leader is not behaving equally with all colleagues? Now we need to have another session for this because there is another concept given by Mr. Devdutt Patnaik. The concept is known as darshan. If I am not treating you properly, what is the reason behind this? So have I actually done the darshan? Have you actually done my darshan? What is going inside my mind? You must be feeling that you are doing everything in a correct manner. You are staying till late night. You are coming on the weekends. You have all your SLAs in place. But still my boss is not happy with me. He is happy with someone else. So what is the prime reason for this? So you need to get into the customer insight. There is one story which goes like that once the war of Mahabharata was over and all Kauravas had died and Pandavas also went to heaven. In heaven, Yudhishthir found all the Kauravas. All the Kauravas went to heaven and all the Pandavas went to hell. And the reason for this was that there was a boon given to Kaurav dynasty that whoever dies on the holy field of Kurukshetra would go to heaven. Irrespective of the deeds done in his pastime, he would go to heaven. And we all know that all the Kauravas died on that battlefield. So are we actually aware of the rules and expectations of the leaders? We are assuming that we are doing the right job, but is it actually the right thing? There is a difference between doing things right and doing the right things. So first you need to have a proper darshan of the leader, that what is that gap which is causing this problem. I hope I could have answered this question. We can have the next question. Hello.
And you all the questions, Puneet. You need to expand the window. Just need to undock it and resize it.
Unlock it and resize it, and from where do I do?
The close button on that questions pane.
Where do I do this?
A button which says undock pane from control panel. You need to click on that.
Close this pane, okay.
No, near the close button, there's this button called undock pane. You need to click on
I'm getting this message, dock pane to control panel.
So it's already undocked. Now you can resize this window by dragging the edges.
Okay.
Can you see the questions now?
Okay. Okay, there is another question. How to deal with procrastination? Able to do, willing to do, but delaying to do. Very good question by Mr. Pratod Javale. Okay, Mr. Prathod, it was a very nice question. So I will just give you one incident. So whenever this idea of procrastination comes to your mind, always think about this. What happened in Mahabharata was that when both Duryodhan and Yudhishthir were ready to become the crown prince, to become Yuvraj, to become the king, Bhishma divided the kingdom in two parts. One was known as Hastinapur and other was known as Khandavprastha, which later became Indraprastha. So he gave one part to Pandavas, one part to Kauravas, and he did that only to avoid any situation of war. He should have taken a firm decision at that time, but he just procrastinated that so that he can just run away from that situation. Now, did that decision, was this decision able to prevent a war? No. Neither were the Kauravas nor were the Pandavas happy. And what it did, it actually snowballed this anger many a times. And in the end, when the battle of Mahabharata ended and Bhishma was on his bed of arrows, he told to Pandavas and Krishna that this was the biggest mistake of my life. Rather than taking the decision, I just procrastinated it. And in the future, whenever such situation occurs, then take out your Gandhi and create another Kurukshetra, but don't let the division of your motherland occur. And we Indians, now you must be able to relate what I am saying. We actually did not learn anything from this because we don't treat our culture properly. The same situation occurred in 1946. There was a hue and cry. People were demanding two separate nations. At that time, our top leaders should have taken a decision, should have taken a firm stand, but they did not. They divided the country in two parts just to avoid war. And do you think that we have been able to prevent war? No. We have been in a state of war with Pakistan for last 65 years just because of this tendency of procrastination. So whenever any such idea comes to your mind, you can remember Bhishma, you can remember Mahatma Gandhi. We can take one or two more questions. Okay, what is the best method to manage team if my team is having more experienced people than me? Okay, question asked by Mr. Shrikant. So Shrikant, two things in this. Number one, because I always believe in this concept of storytelling because people are able to relate themselves more. So whenever you are facing this situation that you have more experienced, more knowledgeable people than you and you have to manage them, always think of Lord Krishna. Lord Krishna was pretty much younger in age, but whether it was Bhishma, it was Dronacharya, it was Vidur, everyone used to consult him and he used to give them advice and suggestions. So Mr. Shrikant, starting from today, don't procrastinate it to tomorrow. Right from this moment, try to become the Krishna of your organization. Try to build that rapport that even the topmost manager think of you whenever they need some advice, they need some guidance. And second point, there is another concept known as participatory leadership, which is taught in many B schools. In that, what you can do is that you can make one member of your team the leader for a particular time, say for 1 week or 10 weeks. By this, you will be giving respect, you will be giving opportunity for the people to lead, you will groom their leadership potential. At the same time, they will also not feel bad. So you can think of both Lord Krishna as well as participatory leadership. Very long one. If one of your subordinate is just money was. Okay, the question is somewhat like that, that there is one team member who is always after reward and whenever you show him a carrot kind of thing, he performs his best. So, and actually it is not always possible to reward the colleagues. So at that time, how can you get the best out of him? So in this, sorry, the question was asked by, the question is asked by Mr. Rohit. So Rohit, I believe now after today's presentation, you can apply the third leadership style which we discussed, in which the leader was showing the bigger cause. In that you can tell it is not just for the money, it is not just for the post, promotion or the rating. It is for the cause of society, it is for the cause of humanity. If you are able to relate the work which he is doing with the betterment of the country, with the betterment of the society, I'm sure he would change his way. We can take one last question. Top 3 qualities of a great leader. I believe in the last slide we have studied 7. Yeah, you have to awaken the Krishna within you and all the 7 points of Lord Krishna. Just keep evaluating yourself on a daily basis, on a regular basis, on those qualities. K, knowledge provider. Am I providing some knowledge to my peers? Am I providing some value addition? R, respect giver. Am I treating them shabbily or am I giving them respect? I, inspires with a vision. Am I able to inspire them? Is my leadership style transformational or just transactional? S, strategist. How good am I in making strategy? H, humble. N, never say die attitude. How often do I break down? Do I behave like Virat Kohli or do I behave like Captain Cool Mahendra Singh Dhoni? And last, not the least, A, allows to go. Will my people prosper and grow under me? And are they working with me only because I am their boss, or are they seeing their career also taking great heights working under me? So just keep evaluating yourself on these 7 parameters. Well, Mohini, do we have time for more questions or we can end here?
Yeah, Puneet, we can surely take more questions.
Hello? Yeah, Puneet, we can surely take more questions. Okay. Method of handling people, Sam Dam Dand Ved. Yeah, we did not take it in any particular order. He is asking that the order is Sam Dam Dand Ved. So we need not have to follow this order, and we actually we should not follow our order. As we say, we have to follow only one policy: don't adopt but adapt. So it should not be that first you should try Sam, then Dam, then Dand, and then Ved. You have to be very dynamic, very versatile. Depending on the type of person, depending on his interest, depending on the scenario, you have to change your leadership style. So you can start with Dam, you can start with Bhed. So please don't take it that we have to follow this particular order only. Don't adopt. Pakad mat lo, pakadna nahi hai. We have to adapt ourselves, align ourselves. So no pecking order in this. Another question. This we have taken. Pretty long one. Leadership is not about the title of a person. You can lead without title in several locations. You have to take responsibility first and give solution for the problem. Give the. This is the question or this is an answer? He's saying it's a very valid statement that leadership is not about titles. Very true. You don't have to associate yourself with a designation or a position. The point here is that what is the perspective of my team members? Are they respecting the team leader Puneet Singh, or are they respecting the person Puneet Singh? In the former case, the respect would last only as long as they work under me. The moment I or they change the job, that respect is lost forever. But if they are working for the person Puneet, if they are respecting the person Puneet, this respect would last forever. So very valid statement. Leadership is not about position or designation. Leadership is about mindset. And this message I always give to mostly the young people, the new recruits who join an organization. Generally what happens is that they are reluctant or they don't take much interest in learning leadership. They say that in first 3-4 years we would technically groom ourselves and then we will take lessons of leadership. No, as I said, leadership is not about position or designation. Leadership is about mindset. Leadership is a state of mind. So the earlier you read and understand it, the better it would be for your personal as well as professional life. So very valid statement. Okay, we'll take the last question by Miss Swapna. What style a growing leader can adapt? So basically two answers for this. Number one, as we studied in today's session, there should not be any style. He should be completely flexible, completely adaptable. He should not be fixated with any particular style. And while following this process, while becoming flexible and adaptable, gradually you will see, Swapna, that you are actually following the transformational style. And India today is actually lacking transformational leaders. The people who can actually transform the people, transform the society, and in the long run transform the nation. The people like Swami Vivekanand or the people like Kiran Bedi, what she did in Tihar jail, are actually lacking. So whenever possible, wherever possible, always try to follow the transformational society, which will leave a permanent impression, a permanent mark on all your followers, and it will not be transactional. Okay, thank you.
Well, thank you so much, Puneet, for answering the questions.
Thank you so much. My pleasure.
I'm sure our users
I was able to answer.
Yes, you will. I'm sure our users got commendable insights to their questions. I would also like to thank all our participants for making this webinar a success. The recording of the session would be available on techgig.com by tomorrow. Thank you all. Have a great evening.